Welcome to Women's Rugby Rundown 212 for August 18th through the 24th. The Women's Rugby World Cup has kicked off with record crowds and viewership. Let's get into round one. There were wins by England, Australia, Scotland, Canada, France, Ireland, South Africa, and New Zealand. It all kicked off with the host England taking on the United States. They were the favorites, England, and they scored 11 tries to beat the United States 69-7 in the tournament's opener on Friday night. The match drew a crowd of 42,723, setting a new all-time tournament record. In the second match of the weekend, Australia took on Samoa. Three-time semifinalists Australia walloped Samoa 73-0. It was their biggest World Cup win in the Wallaroos' history. Then it was Scotland taking on Wales in a Six-Nations rivalry. It was one-way traffic, though, as Scotland brilliantly overcame Wales 38-8. Then it was Canada versus Fiji. Canada's Julia Schell had a night to remember, scoring 6 tries in the second half. The second half of that match, they won 65-7 over Fiji, and Julia set a new record for a Canadian in a World Cup match. In another Six-Nation matchup, France took on Italy. This one was the closest match of the weekend, France winning 24-0 in a shutout. This match drew a record 3.2 million viewers on the TF1 channel, the highest viewing figures ever for a women's rugby international in France. A notable 28% of the audience was between the ages of 15 and 34. Then it was Ireland taking on Japan. They were returning to the World Cup after an 8-year absence, and they outclassed the Sakura 42-14. South Africa's Aziza Hela had a brilliant performance in the 66-6 victory over Brazil, shining in the sun with a hat trick of tries. It was just Brazil's 17th match. They earned their first ever World Cup points with fly half Raquel Kakan kicking a penalty to a huge cheer from the crowd. In the last match of the weekend, defending champions New Zealand dominated Spain in a 54-8 win, even though they played the final quarter with only 13 players. According to head coach Alan Bunting, this was a planned situation, as they know they will receive cards throughout the tournament, and it just presented itself on a platter. Even in defeat, Spain never gave up and delighted the crowd at York Community Stadium. They went wild when Ines Antolines scored a memorable try for them against six-time champions New Zealand. Tickets are selling fast, and records are being broken across the board in this tournament. More than 375,000 tickets have been sold for the tournament so far. We're only in round one. It's over 3 times the number sold for the last World Cup. On top of that, the final at Allianz Stadium is already sold out with an expected audience of 82,000, making it the most attended women's rugby match in history. Round one of the International Defence Rugby Championship saw big wins by the United Kingdom, Ireland, Australia, and Fiji. Round two is in progress. Round two of the Rugby World Cup starts this weekend. It all begins on my birthday, Saturday, August 30th. We'll see Canada taking on Wales, a must-win for Wales, but a huge hill for them to climb, as Canada is number 2, and a lot of folks have them as the dark horse to get into the final of this event. Then it's Scotland taking on Fiji. This one's going to be really interesting. Scotland struggled against Wales, but has done much better in the Six Nations lately. Fiji, always unpredictable and always have the fans to back them. Then it's England versus Samoa, and I fear we are going to see a very large scoreline here. Samoa, new to the Rugby World Cup, and are going up against the best in the world right now. Then in Pool A, and I mentioned the pool because this is an important match, United States is taking on Australia. This is a must-win for both of these squads if they want to have any chance at a quarterfinal. Then action starts again on Sunday. Ireland will take on Spain. This is another one where we're looking at this match. This could be very interesting. Ireland, very strong, of course, but Spain did very well in their first half against New Zealand, stifling their attack. Their defense is very stingy. This one could be one to watch this week. Then it's New Zealand taking on Japan. Japan having their best run-up in the World Cup, but still looking for their first win. Could it come against the Black Ferns? This one will be another tough match for Sakura. We've got a third match for you to keep on your calendar. Put a star next to it. Italy taking on South Africa. This one will be interesting. Of course, Italy plays in the Six Nations, but South Africa has had their best preparation ever for a Rugby World Cup. This one could get really interesting. Then it's France taking on the debutantes, Brazil. Now they've played in one match in the World Cup, but this will be their second. And France, we know they get better with every single match, so this one will be another tough go for the Brazilians. Only one competition in play right now. In a high-scoring third round of the Farrah Palmer Cup, Canterbury and Auckland secured big wins. Auckland had an especially impressive day, scoring 104 points in their victory over Bay of Plenty. That does it for us. Of course, there's always more news on our site at yscrugby.com. Never miss an episode of Women's Rugby Rundown. You can find us on Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and of course, all of your favorite social media platforms. Thanks for watching.